Good evening and welcome to the Stockton Virtual College Fair. We are delighted to have you here this evening and thank you for spending the next 45 minutes with us to hear about some great college and universities. My name is Gwen, and so I will be facilitating this session for you tonight. And before we get started, just wanted to go over a couple of quick housekeeping announcements. For our attendees, just know that your camera and your microphone are both off. And so our presenters will not be able to see or hear you. However, you will be able to ask them questions through the Q&A feature, which is at the bottom of your screen. I do encourage you to use the Q&A, ask them questions. They want to answer those questions for you and make sure that you're leaving here tonight with all the information that you need. So please do not be shy about asking those questions. Also, just as a reminder, this particular session, and in fact, all of the sessions that are taking place through StriveScan are being recorded. And those recordings will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered for this session. So definitely take advantage of those. And without further ado, we will go ahead and get started. And so our first presenter tonight is going to be from Washington State University.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and get going. All right. So my name is Matthias Caldwell. I'm the Regional Admissions Counselor for Washington State University. I am based in the Sacramento area, so not too far from your location. Washington State University is located in Pullman, Washington. It is a small college town on the eastern side of the state of Washington, right on the border with Idaho. It is the classic college town in really every sense of the word. You have Pac-12 Division I sports, Greek life, strong academics, and a residential campus where during a normal year, everybody's living on campus or very close to campus, making it easy to kind of, plug in, find your people, find your community right off the bat. There's lots of great outdoor activities in the area. If you like hiking, camping, skiing, snowboarding, rafting, you name it, they're probably all right there, right within touching distance. And we have a great outdoor rec center that can take you on trips to do those things and help you learn to do some of those activities. As you can see from the image here, you have those classic red brick buildings on campus, lots of trees, and it is a beautiful campus set against a pretty picturesque background. There's lots of rolling hills in the background, lots of agricultural land in the area, and we're not too far from the mountains. We are about a 5.5-hour drive across the state from Seattle, Washington, and about an hour and a half south of Spokane. So while we are not in any big urban areas, we're still within touching distance of some of those urban areas, especially Spokane. If you wanted to get up for a day trip or over to Seattle for the weekend, you could definitely do that. As you can see from this slide right here, the town itself is a very small college town. There's only really around 34,000 people in town, but it's a unique college town because 2/3 of town is made up of campus. So, the campus itself is just over 20,000 students. And so Pullman is really the WSU campus, as well as its faculty, staff, and a few diehard locals who love the Cougs. And so it's a really it's a very unique place to go to school where everything you do, the people you meet, the places you go, it all revolves around the college life, the college experience. There's just a real buzz and an excitement in the atmosphere because everybody's in the same phase of life. It makes it very easy to find people that are going to be in your friend group, in your academic study group, you name it. It's just easy to kind of plug into that community atmosphere there. We are predominantly an undergraduate institution, so we are mostly undergraduate students with a few select, master's and PhD programs, and we are a public research university. So WSU is a tier 1 research school, which means that we are the highest caliber, highest general classification of research school that you can have nationwide. So that means there's lots of government funding and resources going into our programs, our facilities, making it easy for us to, get our students into hands-on learning opportunities in the form of internships, lab work, research, field work, you name it. We've got a lot of those opportunities available for students. And at only 20,000 students, we're quite a bit smaller than most other tier 1 research schools. And so we have that same high level of government funding and resources, but half the competition for those resources. So students can get into those hands-on learning opportunities, even as a first semester freshman, potentially, if you go looking for that. The Tier 1 designation also means that our faculty are conducting their own cutting edge research, so they are immersed in their fields of study. Tier 1 designation also means that, of course, we are going to be great in a lot of the hard science fields, anything from agricultural science to all sorts of bioscience degrees. Our engineering department is stellar with a ton of different engineering major options. Our health sciences department is very good. We have our own medical school, pharmacy school, nursing school, veterinary school, and a whole host of pre-professional programs in the therapies, optometries, dentistries, you name it. We've probably got it going on in the health sciences. But with over 200 fields of study, it means that even beyond those science fields, we're definitely going to have a lot of other options and opportunities for students to take part in from an academic perspective. Our business department, our communications department are very competitive. They draw a lot of students. We have a pretty robust foreign language and cultures department. Even our art department, which is not the biggest on campus, is a vibrant part of our campus community with its own art museum. So there are a lot of different ways that students can be successful academically. We've got a great honors college that is not going to cost you anything extra. In fact, it might come with some extra opportunities. It's compatible with all majors, and it has some, built-in study abroad options, which is kind of nice. We do have a great study abroad options available to students that take you to really all 7 continents. We are a Pac-12 Division I school, like I mentioned, so there are a lot of active students looking to either watch or play sports. Over 400 different student-led clubs and organizations on campus, so a ton of different ways to get involved. There are academic clubs for every single major, to a lot of just other random clubs that are tons of fun. Moving on, we have 2 main scholarships that are available to our California students that California students tend to earn. The top tier is the WUI, or the Western Undergraduate Exchange. It's for anybody with a 3.6 cumulative unweighted GPA or higher, and it knocks $11,000 per year off tuition, which brings our tuition for an out-of-state WUI student down to around $14,000 per year. So right on par with a lot of the UC system in California in terms of their tuition. The second, or slightly lower tier of that award, would be the Cougar Award. It's 3.2 to 3.59 cumulative unweighted GPA, and it gets you $7,000 per year. And these are both for all 4 years. So it is a renewable award, can knock a lot of money off of your tuition. We have a rolling admissions policy. And so we are open for admissions already, and we are test blind for the 2021 academic cycle. So we are not going to look at your test scores for seniors that are applying this year. And that's about all my time. So I thank you for listening to me, and I'm going to pass it along to my next colleague.
All right, thank you so much. So I just want to let our attendees know, feel free to ask questions throughout the next 45 minutes. You do not have to wait for a particular school to present if you would like to ask questions. Also, if you do have a question that is specific to a particular institution, make note of that in the Q&A so that they will know that you're directing that to one particular school. All right, next up we have Eastern Washington University.
Yo, what's up, Stockton? We are live and official. My name is Kareem. I am the advisor for Eastern Washington University. Shout out to all of you people tuning in from Stockton. I gotta say, I love all of your donut shops out there. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen now. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. There's my email, kahmath@ewu.edu. Just hit me up later. Bonus points if you could pronounce my name or my email. All right, here we are, Eastern Washington University. I really like to describe us as a quintessential college town, where the students kind of make up the majority of the town itself. We have around 12,000 students on campus. It's a mid-sized university, world-class academics and facilities, as well as fun college traditions like Division I football. Here's a photo of our famous red turf field. Located in Cheney, Washington, just near Spokane, Washington on the east side. So here are some facts and figures. Many of our students graduate with jobs related to their major. Many get to Eastern debt-free. Students also receive lots of financial aid, and many students graduate with some type of professional experiences like internships, volunteer, and research. Many of our students are also the first in their families to attend college. So I'm gonna show you some photos, kind of what goes on our campus. Here is a photo of a, let's see something. So here's a photo of our robots and our computer science programs. Many students get to use them to program and do all kinds of fun hands-on activities, and kind of with that going on that hands-on learning experience. Just off of our campus, about 5 miles away, it's about a 10-minute drive. We're located on 300 square acres, but there's a wildlife refuge, and you can see here in the picture, students collecting water samples. And it's a great place for students to kind of go out. There's hiking trails, walking trails. It's a favorite spot for me to go out and just kind of explore what Washington has to offer. Here's another photo of students working in our mechanical engineering labs using many of the robotic arms that we have available. Again, another example of our geology students out in the field here doing some research and collecting samples. So at Eastern Washington University, we do have the most affordable tuition. And so our tuition is around $7,000 for WUI students. If you qualify for the WUI scholarship, it is going to be around $10,000. You could use our freshman calculator here. And basically, that'll kind of show you like how much of award that you will get. So I'm just gonna, as an example, I'm just gonna plug in a GPA here, and it will show you kind of what you could potentially get at Eastern. And going back to the presentation. So at Eastern, we do have a music department. If music is something that you want to continue, but not necessarily major in, we have so many ensembles that you can participate in and keep up with that. Some of our top 5 majors are going to include business, biology, computer science, psychology, and engineering. Our programs in engineering and computer science are ABET accredited. So that's really important to note. That's what many employers are looking for. Again, here's a photo of kind of our college traditions and that school spirit I was mentioning around our football games. If you're looking for a fun mid-sized school with lots of school spirit, definitely check out Eastern. We have lots of student clubs that you can participate in, and other than the Division I athletics, we have 2 more sports activities that students can participate in, and that is our club sports and also our intramural sports. And also we have a Greek life on our campus. I really like the recreational facilities that we have. The ice rink is awesome. We have a climbing wall, a gym. I really like the boxing gym. But yeah, these are some fun spots to hang out with your friends on campus. I really enjoyed hanging out here. And we also have many multicultural programs and services on our campus too, to help students feel included and find a sense of community. So our campus, you know, there's lots of trees. It's really pretty. It's just a really nice place to be around. If you're from California, get ready to experience snow. So please apply by February 1st. That is our deadline. Make sure to apply for that so you qualify for our scholarship. So thank you.
All right, thanks Eastern Washington University. Next up, we're going to hear from York University.
All right, thank you very much. So with that, I will be sharing my screen. All right, folks, so a very big welcome, York University, Sarah Lee. And York University is located in Canada, Toronto. So just a few quick facts about Canada. We do have 2 official languages in Canada, that is English and French, and we are the 2nd largest country in the world with a population of just around 38 million people. So that's roughly about the population of actually California. And 90% of our population actually lives within 100 miles of the US border. So York University is located in Toronto, Ontario. And Ontario is a province with 1/3 of Canada's population actually lives here. We are the second largest province and we are home to 2 different time zones. Our capital city is Toronto, where York University is located. Before I go and talk about York, let's talk a little bit about why you would want to study in Canada. Few reasons. We do have internationally recognized degrees. We are very affordable, and that's many of what our international students do tell us. 75 of the 96 total universities are actually publicly funded, meaning we all have to adhere to very high educational standards. Our educational degrees are recognized worldwide. Students do have a lot of opportunities with experiential education, so whether that's internships, paid co-op opportunities, and the best part about being a student in Canada is that you are eligible to get a postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years, which allows you to work in Canada for up to 3 years, which is also the path for citizenship as well. So if you are living in the United States, then this is an opportunity for dual citizenship, which does allow you to have free medical for life. That's not a bad deal. So let's talk a little bit about York University. York University is the 3rd largest university in Canada. We do have 3 campuses at the moment. We just built our new campus, which is in Costa Rica, affiliated with our environmental and urban change faculty. We do have over 10,370 international students from over 178 different countries at the moment. We do have 11 different faculties, and we do offer over 150 different programs. The majority of our programs are going to be housed at the Keele campus. We do have a subway station on our campus, and we are roughly about a half-hour ride from downtown Toronto. Our Keele campus only has a population of around 2,700 students, but it is a bilingual campus. You don't have to be proficient in French or Spanish, just have to be willing to learn. Students are able to take classes on both campuses, and we do have a shuttle that operates between both campuses. So let's talk a little bit about our programs. What are we known for? So we do have, as I mentioned, 11 faculties, 150 different programs. A lot of our programs tend to be at an undergraduate level, but we do offer PhD and master's programs as well. And some of our most popular programs are our business administration program with our Schulich School of Business, Commerce, Fine and Performing Arts, Computer Science, Engineering, Health Sciences, Psychology, Life Sciences, Environmental Studies, International Studies, Humanities, and we also have an option for an undecided major within the Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science. We do tend to see a lot of students from the United States any given year. Currently, we have just over 500 students at an undergraduate and a graduate level, and we do have close to 5,000 alumni worldwide from the United States. So how do you apply to a Canadian university? Well, if you are looking at a university in Ontario, we do have something similar to a common app. It's called the OUAC application. You can apply to us through that. It is very similar, but no grades or documents are required. It's relatively straightforward, or you can apply directly on our website as well. So typically what we are looking for when you are applying to us, we are going to be looking at your academic performances. We don't necessarily ever require essays or any additional documentation. We are strictly going to be giving admissions based on the academic merit. So what do we typically need to see from students is your high school transcripts with marks from grade 9 to 12 first semester grades. Grade range for most of our programs is going to be a B average, which is a 3.3 on a 4-point scale. Some of our programs can go up to a 3.7, which is an A, but it does vary by program that you are applying to. Subject prerequisites will differ based on the program you're applying to, but these are typically STEM, science, or math prerequisites, which have to come at a senior level. SATs and ACTs are not required for students who are going to be applying for next year, so September 2021. We do have a winter entry option, which is for January, and we are test optional. Some programs will have an early application deadline and additional documentation is required. So this is typically for our performing arts. So BFA programs, you would either need to do a portfolio or an addition. Aside from that, our Schulich School of Business, we would require a supplementary application as well. We do recognize advanced courses. So if you're taking AP courses, we will need to see a 4 and a 5. and then we are able to give transfer credits as well. If you are studying in an IB curriculum, then we do need to see a score of 30. Some programs require 36, and some programs will even accept the 28. International applicants, as I already mentioned, can apply directly to your review. And do keep in mind, if you're coming from the United States, of course, you are able to bring your FAFSA loans over. We do have an office that works directly with that. And I've put the code up here for you as well. So tuition range is right up here for you too, just to give you a sense of what the cost of studying at York University is. So as you can see, it is very comparable, and it is a very affordable option for our international students. Of course, we do have scholarships for students as well that we do offer. So again, if you have questions with that, you can always email me, and feel free to connect with me and ask me questions. So thanks so much. With that, I will pass it over to our next presenter.
Thank you, York University. So we're now going to hear from Carleton University.
Hello, thank you very much. I'm going to just take a quick second here to share my screen. All right, so hi, my name is Trevor Lewis, and I'm from Carleton University in Canada's beautiful nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, a city of 1 million people, 1.5 hours north of the New York State border. And before I begin, let me start by saying Carleton University acknowledges the location of its campus on the traditional Indigenous unceded territories of the Algonquin Nation. Well, this is Carleton. As mentioned, we are in the heart of the nation's capital region. And this year we are 78 years young and boast a student population of 31,000 students. We have a picturesque 125-acre self-contained campus surrounded by the Rideau River, which flows south to Lake Ontario in northern New York State, and the Rideau Canal to the left, which flows downtown to Parliament Hill and the House of Commons, Canada's seat of government. The canal also, incidentally, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the longest ice skating rink in the world. Indeed, in my undergrad, I did, in fact, skate to school. The campus is also connected by 3 miles of underground tunnels for those less excited about the elements and winter. And we do celebrate winter, that's for sure. The student body at Carleton is diverse. We're representing 150 nations in the world, and we offer a supportive environment for all of our students, which includes a pet therapy program that sees support dogs like Roxy here roam the campus and residents actively looking for pets, which our students are more than happy to give. And you know, who doesn't want to pet your dog when you're stressed with papers and finals? So Carleton has 5 faculties. The largest is Arts and Social Sciences, and the second is Public Affairs. And sorry, I'm just dealing with my situation here, is Public Affairs, and you can see the degrees that we offer in those 2 faculties here. The degree that I want to speak about a little bit here is the journalism program. We are known as the oldest journalism program in Canada. And for arts and social sciences, what you leverage in the nation's capital is the strength is studying and working in a global capital city with majors focusing on politics, governments, law, and society. And that's all very huge here and abundant in terms of student experience, as you might expect in a global capital such as Washington, DC. We also have one of the largest engineering schools in our province with 13 fully accredited streams, including aerospace and biomedical engineering. Hands-on doing of engineering is key here, and we'll see our biomedical and mechanical engineers build a Formula One race car and race it each and every year. Science and health sciences is also very popular at Carleton, and where we differentiate from our competitors is mandatory hands-on research from year 1 in multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art laboratories. Last but not least is the Sprott School of Business that is just finishing a fantastic build of a new building in the center of our campus. It will be an ideation, project management, collaboration space for students, pairing them with industry well before they enter the work world. Cool here is the Bachelor of International Business, which requires students to study abroad and learn a new language in order to graduate. And this might happen in Spain, might happen in Japan or South America. Look for us virtually this fall as we do presentations every day through our admissions.carleton.ca, as well as offer a podcast on Spotify, and an opportunity to meet with a recruiter in a coffee chat. Order a view book here and connect with us and get social anytime. And I'd like to thank you very much for listening, and I'll pass it over to my next presenter. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So next up, you're going to hear from University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Hi, folks. My name is Kenny, and I'm based in San Francisco, California. Let's get started.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
So I always like starting off with that video just so you get a taste of what the University of Illinois is all about. So for the last 150 years or so, our students, alumni, and faculty have really come to shape the world in many different ways. Beginning with their involvement in our campus community, our students have really gone to innovate and inspire new and better solutions to global problems. Examples of this include things like the development of the world's first web browser, for example, which was actually Mosaic back in 1993, which paved the way for the creation of the modern day internet as we know it. It eventually led to the start of other Illinois alumni projects along the way, such as YouTube and PayPal. For any of our tech buffs in the audience, you may have heard of inventions like LEDs, MRIs, integrated circuits, and transistors, even JavaScript, more Illinois creations. The video clip that you saw on the last slide there was actually the first ever video uploaded to YouTube 15 years ago, and it's titled Me at the Zoo. So the site's co-founder and uploader of the video, Javed Karim, was a 2004 computer science alum, and he actually thought up the idea for YouTube because of the internet's lack of video sharing capabilities at the time. The university and its alums have gone a long way since 2005, as you might imagine. If you actually fast forward to 2020, we've recently begun to perform saliva-based testing for COVID-19, a method that our campus researchers developed that allow for results within just a few hours, helping to really ease the burdens of costly tests and time delays in getting results from traditional nose swab testing. We actually have one of the most aggressive testing systems for COVID-19 in higher education, where we're testing on average 15 to 17,000 people every single day. And this actually accounts for 2% of all testing that's currently being done in the United States, just at the University of Illinois. We're currently working with the FDA to expand this testing nationwide. So these are just some of the projects that have come out of the university over time that I hope that you can see how you can kind of make your mark as well and really harness it in what we call the power of I. And so I hope you can use this and learn from this and harness your individual power as you work to inspire, innovate, and get involved at U of I. So at the University of Illinois, we have close to 34,000 undergraduate students with a total enrollment of over 52,000 students across all 50 United States and 113 different countries, making us actually one of the largest and most diverse post-secondary institutions in the United States. About 25% of our undergraduates are domestic out-of-state students, with a majority coming from the West Coast, primarily from California, and most of them being from the Northern California side of the state. We are located in central Illinois, which is about 2 hours south of Chicago and about 2 to 2.5 hours from Indianapolis as well as St. Louis, giving our students access to 3 major metropolitan areas within a reasonable drive. What's really great about attending school at U of I is that you really get to enjoy living in the twin towns of Champaign as well as Urbana, which we consider a micro-urban community, meaning that we have a thriving arts and culture scene that you might find in a major city, but everywhere is still very accessible by walking, biking, or just simply driving. So as the number 15 public university in the country, we have over 150 majors across 11 different academic communities, ranging from things like our more established and well-known programs like the Granger College of Engineering, which is ranked 6th in the country for engineering undergraduate programs, and our Geese College of Business, which is a top 10 public business school with the number 3 accounting program, to newer and up-and-coming colleges, such as the School of Information Sciences, for example, which houses one of our newest undergraduate majors in information sciences. Having such an expansive and diverse collection of majors really allows you to get a very specialized educational experience. So for example, we don't just have a general business major that you can find at most schools, but you can actually choose to study very specialized areas of business, such as accountancy, finance, information systems, and supply chain management, for example. So an important aspect of life at U of I is your involvement in internships, research, and study abroad, things that we really believe make for the robust learning experience during your time as an undergraduate. Along with these, you have, of course, 1,800 plus registered student organizations that you can join, from things like academic honor societies, sororities, and fraternities, which make up approximately 25% of our student body, and it's actually one of the largest Greek systems in the entire country. You'll find that nearly 70% of our students, though, will participate in things like internships and research of some kind during their time on campus. And while we have support services like a career center to assist our students in providing internships and co-ops while on campus, I've come to really find that our students are very proactive. And so they'll just actively seek out these opportunities on their own as well. We also have a research park located on campus, one of the few college campuses to actually have one, and they house Fortune 500 companies such as Capital One, State Farm, Yahoo, and Caterpillar that employ undergraduate interns in a variety of industries. Within Research Park itself is Enterprise Works, which is a 43,000 square foot startup incubator that serves as a facility and resource center for budding entrepreneurs and has launched over 200 startup companies since its creation in 2003. So if you're really interested in startup culture and being part of kind of startups and or even just creating your own company, really consider University of Illinois for that. In terms of our actual academic research, as a Research One institution, students can start as early as their freshman year if they'd like, although sophomore through senior year is much more common. Depending on when you actually conduct your project, I do like to say that you have a chance to be published in a real research journal before you can even legally buy a beer. For our engineers in the audience, the Granger College is also consistently recognized as the most cited in the entire world for engineering research, so showcasing the high volume of research that's being produced. And finally, you can take your internships and research opportunities abroad if you like, with about 30% of our students choosing to study abroad in a given year, from studying marine ecology in the Galapagos Islands, for example, or doing an internship at a cheese factory in Rome. So that's the end of my formal presentation. If you have any questions, I'll still be here. And of course, my information is going to be listed on the next slide. But with that, I'm going to hand it off to our last presenter. Thank you so much, folks.
Thanks, University of Illinois. Just a reminder to our attendees, the Q&A is live, so definitely get in those questions before the end of the session. Our final presenter is from Rocky Mountain College.
Good evening, everybody. I appreciate you guys joining us today. I'm going to go over Rocky Mountain College and what we have to offer you here in Billings, Montana. So Rocky Mountain College is a small liberal arts school here in the state. We're actually the oldest college in the state of Montana. We predate it by about 12 years in 1878. Again, we're grounded in liberal arts, so students are well versed when they graduate, and they enjoy studying many different facets of life before they get out into the real world. We are affiliated with 3 different denominations, so you can be as involved as you'd like when it comes to your religious affiliation. Billings, Montana is the largest city in the state, so we have all the amenities that you would need in a big city, but kind of on a small scale. So you're able to actually step foot into a job or an internship pretty easily based on our recognition in the community and in the largeness of the city within the state. Rocky Mountain College, so we have an average of about 11 to 1 to student to faculty ratio. Now, while lots of those may say that, we actually can prove that. We only have 1,000 students here at the college, so that's very attainable. I remember my senior year, I think I had classes with no more than 6 or 7 students in each class, which really promoted a very small sense of class and a very good relationship with my professors. Average class size is around 14 in all 50 different majors that we offer here at the college. So students are able to really reach out and expand their knowledge in areas from equestrian to geology, to environmental science, to even aviation. So given our location here in Montana, environmental science, geology, aviation are hubs for those type of programs. As far as students while they're in the classroom, so because of our size, our unique size, we're able to dedicate a lot of our time and effort to ensuring that our students get the necessary hands-on experience that they need. So it's actually required that all of our students do internships except 2 programs, our education and our aviation programs. So that's where students are actually going to be experiencing their career field while they're in school. So our aviation majors will fly 3 days a week, and our education students will actually be in the classroom starting the 2nd semester of their freshman year and actually start working with school-age children from kindergarten all the way up through their senior year in high school. But while you're outside of the classroom, you're going to have an awesome opportunity here in the state of Montana to get involved in not only school and the community, but also just being outside. We really pride ourselves on the ability to get outdoors, whether it's hunting or fishing, snowboarding or skiing. We have a plethora of those options here at the college, and our outdoor rec center does a great job of loaning out free equipment for students to use. So someone like myself, who was from Southern California, had never been camping before, I was able to walk into a room and ask for some gear and leave and have an awesome time, not spending any money. We do participate in 17 varsity sports at the NAIA Division I level. So some of our top sports are skiing, football, and soccer. So our ski team is nationally ranked and they compete nationally and often finish first or second on that scale year in, year out. As far as cost of tuition, so these are our real numbers from this past year. Tuition just over $30,000, with room and board just under $40,000. We do not have any out-of-state tuition because we are a private institution. So you'll pay just as much as someone who graduated from high school just down the street. So everyone's being treated equally here in that sense of the finances. We do offer merit scholarships that range from $9,000 to $17,000 for our first-year students and up to $12,000 for our transfers. These are renewable every year. They are based on your transcripts. We do not require an essay or any fee in order to get admitted. We are also on a rolling admission, which means that we're constantly admitting students all the way up until weeks before school starts, even sometimes days this past year. So definitely take your time in finding Rocky Mountain College. And when you do find us, we'll be sure to get you on the right steps. We do offer additional scholarships that go from aviation to some of our special talent scholarships, i.e. athletic scholarships. This past year, we did introduce what's called an RMC Promise Scholarship. So this scholarship will cover tuition up to $2,500 for the year. So if you receive this and you receive one of our top 3 merits, the presidential, the trustee, or the founders, and you're Pell eligible, your tuition will be covered up to $2,500, renewable every single year, which is just an awesome scholarship to ensure that college is affordable for you. As far as next steps, so our application right now is free, and you can find it on our website. It's our own application. It's proprietary. It'll take you maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes to complete. Extremely simple. Like it says there, no application, no fee, no test score. So if you do submit those, we will accept them, but they will not be used in admission or in the merit scholarship eligibility. If you do come out and visit campus, we are offering $500 as a visit scholarship. We are holding visits right now. Obviously, they're modified, but because we're in Montana, which is already in a sense a socially distant or physically distant state with only around 1 million people in the entire state, we're able to ensure that we remain physically distanced and we can house those visits pretty easily. But we'd love to have you guys out. Here's some contact information for the college. I'd love to speak with you if you guys have any questions. We're here all day and we'll be here all week. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you, Rocky Mountain College. We have a few minutes left, so what I would like to do is ask each of our presenters to go ahead and come back up on camera and to give you an opportunity to leave a final thought with our attendees. And so maybe spend 30 or 45 seconds talking about a favorite school tradition on your campus, or maybe just something that you feel is very unique about your institution. So we'll just go in the same order in which you presented. So we'll start with Washington State University.
Yeah, hi again. I think that one of the fun things about WSU is that we have great agricultural and food science programs. And so our students are able to work in the dairy and create their own ice cream. And they also make some really famous cheese. It's called the Cougar Gold cheese. You may have heard of it. If you Google it, you'll probably get an answer on Google really quickly. It's a very unique type of cheese, and it is sold in a big wheel. It's actually the most money I've ever spent on cheese in my life was on a $30 wheel of Cougar Gold, and it was well worth it. So that's just a fun fact about WSU.
All right, how about Eastern Washington University?
Yeah, that cheese really is good. I guess the thing that I don't know, Vice just did a little documentary on us, so look up Vice in small college towns, and yeah, you can learn more about us doing that. So that's kind of a cool thing.
All right, how about York?
Hi, everyone. So something cool about York, well, there's many things. There's a lot of different movie sets and different things that we do rent out to companies. I would have to say right now it's our campus in Costa Rica as well that we have built, and our students really enjoy going abroad and all of that. So that's something that's definitely cool and feature that York University has.
Okay. Carleton University?
Yeah, I gave away this answer in the chat, but I'm going to do a trivia question. What do Vic Frohmeyer from Christmas with the Cranks, Jake Joliet from the Blues Brothers, and Ray Stantz from the Ghostbusters have in common? Anyone? Someone? Anyone? These are all characters of Dan Aykroyd, our most famous graduate at Carleton University.
Okay, thank you for that. How about University of Illinois?
Yeah, so the University of Illinois is actually home to the third largest research library in the world with 14.5 million volumes of books. The only two other libraries that are larger would be Harvard and the Library of Congress. So always a fun fact.
All right, and last but not least, how about Rocky Mountain College?
Well, Rocky Mountain College, as I mentioned, is the oldest state or oldest college in the state. We are actually a college built by students. So we sit right up against a limestone quarry, if you will. And when the college was being built, students were actually paid pennies to not chisel out stone and drag it down from the rim rocks and build the college. So a lot of our buildings were built by limestone from the students. So it's a tagline, built by students for students.
All right, thank you so much for that. So this concludes our session together. I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you to each of our presenters for being here tonight. Thank you to our attendees as well. Just as a reminder, this session was being recorded, and so a copy of this session and all other StriveScan sessions will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. Also, just when you close out of this particular session, there will be a quick 4-question survey. We ask that you please complete that survey for us so that you can provide us some valuable feedback to try and make these programs even better for you. So again, just want to say thank you to each of our presenters. Thank you to our attendees. Hope you found this session helpful, and hope you all have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much. Good night.